Hey guys, welcome back to the Gamers Vault, and as you know, I'm your host James. Today we're not doing a repair video or a mod video. I got a lot of plans for a mod video coming up for a Raspberry Pi, and I'm trying to decide on my own custom type build for a RetroPie. I might have to get some help for that, but either way, let's just get started on the video today. Today I'm doing a personal hidden gem, and I have the entire series, and I found this to be so wonderful. And it's so bad at what happened to it. I really am ashamed for it. But beside that, I'll get into that later. This game is retro, and if you guys like it, if you like my commentary on it, and you guys like my review, I will do more. But today, on the Gamers Vault, we're gonna go ahead and do my favorite game, PlayStation 1, Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen. I tell you guys, mine is complete. I love it. It's mint condition, complete, no cracks, no nothing. And the game can go about $20. Not expensive, so it's not rare. It's my personal gem, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. The storyline is just phenomenal. The puzzles were pretty hard for the time, and it took me a while to beat it. I rented this game at one of my local Blockbusters for like $4. And I spent more than $4 trying to rent this game. Anyway. You guys probably have heard of the game from its derivative story, which is Raziel from the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver series. And I'm sorry, that's my cell phone, guys. It's from the Soul Reaver series. And the reason why you probably heard that more is because that was more dominant later on in the 90s than it was when the storyline started. But if you haven't played this game, you're not doing yourself justice. You know what, guys? Let me stop talking. Let's get into the gameplay, and let me go ahead and tell you about the game, the company, and what happened with Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain.
Of a new aeon, when it becomes necessary to utter a word, the whole planet must be bathed in blood.
As you can see, guys, this game had its own controversies in its time. This was the early days. Still, the ESRB was in its infancy when it came out, so a lot of blood and gore, and it still needed to be segregated for everyone to actually enjoy and play this game. It's pretty much, the game itself has wonderful graphics for its time, and actually blew away for the PlayStation for its time. So it actually pushed out the graphics and gameplay that was made for this game, and I think that's just wonderful. That's just fantastic. Anyway, the Blood Omen series was created by Silicon Knights, and it was under the direction of Dennis Dyack, with the assistance of Crystal Dynamics. So Crystal Dynamics don't really exist anymore. It was released in 1996 on the PlayStation. In 1997, it was ported to Microsoft Windows. Dyack conceived the Vampire project under the title Pillars of Nosgoth in 1993. The Crystal Dynamics producer, Lyle Hall, chose the fantasy concept over two other proposals. One of which was Too Human, which actually later on came out for the Xbox 360, guys. So Too Human did actually make its way out, but later on in the future it didn't really make its way out in the PlayStation era. So this was developed as a 2D action game with role-playing game elements. So it wasn't really a role-playing game per se, but it had the action title, which probably was the beginning stages of a puzzle, platform puzzle. The selling points included its 50-hour length and the wide array of items and abilities the player character commands. Blood Omen introduces Nosgoth, which is the world that you are currently in. It's a fictional land designed with a novel-like complexity and gives the player control of a character named Kain, a newly resurrected vampire seeking revenge against his murderers and a cure for his vampiric curse. So, the storyline begins as a noble, and of course, as they said, you do get killed, and you're going to see that in about a few moments.
The tavern's closing. Best be on your way,
The game
stranger.
itself
What?
starts
Mother
out
ale for a weary
slow,
traveller
guys.
from
So give it a
distant
chance as you
Copenhagen?
play the game,
I can
because
reward you well,
they
for I
got
am of
it got
noble
so
blood.
much wonderful elements
I stay
beside
open for
that.
no man in these dark times. Things come with the night that no
Let's see
sane
here.
man would welcome.
By the
And so
way,
I left.
just to give a side
Cold of
note,
heart
they
and soul.
Crystal Dynamics, as I
Forced
said,
to the
is no
road
longer
and
existing.
the long,
But
bitter night.
there is a game currently on Steam where you can either play as humans or vampires in the game, and that's called Nosgoth. As you can see, it's a top-down kind of display, and you're gonna see at the beginning when you walk out of here. I don't know why they allowed us to
That's him!
to just do this. You're gonna die. You're meant to die. I'll try to run away from these guys, but you're meant to die. You're supposed to die in this game, no matter what. And they come and stab you. Later on, you find out that you were murdered. Your murder was kind of licensed by this guy coming up in a minute. You have several villains, and they're not really villains. They all have their own tragic storyline. One, I believe, was a person named Nupraptor, and he sewed his eyes shut because if you remember at the beginning, the girl dies. Someone kills the pillar of balance. They have like I think 7 or 9 pillars in this game, and they killed the pillar of balance, and who was in love with the pillar of the mind. And he winds up tying his eyes shut because he does not want nothing to do with anything of Nosgoth. So people start going insane. Each pillar is controlling people's emotions and people's minds, I should say. There's the timekeeper. He is the person you're seeing right now is the death. He deals with death, and that's why you're resurrected as a vampire, because he resurrects you to come after the other pillars.
You will have the blood you hunger
So,
for.
the Legacy of Kain series by 2007 had collectively sold over 3.5 million copies, but its commercial success has varied with each game. Blood Omen surpassed Crystal Dynamics' expectations with a reported sales ranging from 320,000 units to up to 200 million copies. So the game did sell out really well. People did like it. As you can see, when you play the game, you're going to be introduced to certain powers. This power that he just got was to resurrect him back to his crypt. If he dies, he goes back to his crypt.
Resort to this when I am weak and need nourishment.
You don't want to kill these guys too fast, and the reason why is because he will suck their blood. I was trying to show it to you, but it's kind of hard playing on a controller that's not meant for PlayStation. But you get cards like this, the Heart of, honestly, the Heart of Darkness. I don't want to get too crazy into the cards, guys, because those of you who haven't played the game, I hope to wish that you guys do play it. There you go.
As it was torn, throbbing and bleeding from
You guys can suck on the different bloods as you get people weak. You're going to see people chained up, and those of you girls out there, please don't take offense to this game. It was made back in the 90s, so you gotta forgive me.
For the spawning of spells.
This is a save marker, so you can save your game and actually go there, and you would need to save often, because let me tell you, this game will take up all your saves. Now, the Raziel series is more what people have known more than the Kain series, which is kind of sad because, yes, Raziel was interesting, but I love the Kain series. I loved his storyline. At the end of this game, you have a choice. Pretty much, I hate to ruin it to you guys, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Spoiler alert, guys. Towards the end of the game, the pillars have gone mad currently in the game. They have gone completely mad. And in order for Nosgoth to become whole, each member of the pillar has to die. And when they're dead, the members of the pillars, they don't have to worry about it anymore. And yeah, you find out later on you're the last pillar. You're the pillar of balance. Since the pillar of balance died, you have taken the place of balance. And you have a choice, either to save Nosgoth and kill yourself, or damn it and rule Nosgoth. And in this storyline, or in Raziel's storyline I should say, he decides to damn Nosgoth, and that's how Raziel has come to be. The boss's fights kind of fight the same way you see here as he hits with his sword. His sword does get better, and those of you guys who are wondering, who are fans of the series, yes, in this game he will get Soul Reaver, and it is broken in this game. Once you get Soul Reaver, no monster, no bad guy can stand before you. He really does rape in Soul Reaver.
Victor!
And you can die as a vampire in this game. So, just to put it out there, guys. I just like playing the role of the bad guy right now, and just even though there's by the way, those girls who are chained up in a mausoleum, I don't know why they're chained up there, and the people who are digging the graves are not scared by the walking skeletons that are going around right now. So here's your first puzzle, guys. So you can decide, see, you can either not do it like that, see, or you can unlock it. There you go. And there's your first puzzle. Now I'm going to show you guys a trick, if I can get it to do it right. Let's see.
And eviscerate my human enemies by stripping ragged flesh from blood-stained bone.
Yeah, we're going to show you what he's talking about. If I can get it to do it, and I apologize if this review is going to be a let's play at this point. This is by the way, this is the world map. And Nosgoth kind of looked like this. Wellendorf City, Aberneth Cathedral, Elzevir the Dollmaker, Dark Eden, Oracle of Nosgoth, Nutraptor's Retreat, which is my personal favorite, and Malik's Bastion. I also like Wellendorf City because there's a king who's upset about his daughter. The storylines have many storylines. I'm not gonna ruin that. I will not do that to you guys. So I'm not gonna tell you about the daughter, even though the storyline is so wonderful. I'm gonna try. I think they won't let me. They're not gonna let me do the power for you guys. Let me see. The only bad part about this. Oh, by the way, mini map guy. You guys can have mini maps in this game, which serve a purpose if you get stuck in a dungeon. So. Alright, here we go. Now, I'm going to show you guys, not on the skeleton because it's not cool enough. You guys can't save them, by the way. You can hit them with a sword, it's not going to happen. They're just not, you can't save these guys. There's no way. They're just locked there. So, what's the best way to avenge somebody? By killing their captors as badly as you can. Alright. So, let me see if I can find one of those crypt keepers who are digging their graves here. And in this game, vampires can get hurt by the weather. So, keeping Kain hidden is definitely something you want to do until you get powers. You're gonna get powers later on. By the way, that blue thing on the right-hand corner is your power level. Eventually, you're going to be using that when you get more powers. When Kain gets more powers, he'll get different swords and stuff like that, and you'll be using that buff. So every time you find something like that, you want to grab it. Okay, this is a save level. I don't care about that. Let's go back outside. In a minute, I'm going to tell you a quick bit about the storyline real quick.
Hunger and weakness are no bar to vengeance's call. I would find my slayers and send them back whence I came.
He does little quips that you guys will understand. Alright, so here is one of the bad guys. I'm gonna show you how I kill him. Look how bad that is. I'm gonna do it one more time. You guys can see that. He gets flayed. And that's only a piece of his power, guys. That's how funny it is.
Their sneering faces were forever etched upon my memory. I had crossed death for this moment.
You can suck their blood twice. Okay, anyway.
I would kill.
I'm gonna give you guys a quick synopsis of the story. Quick.
Vengeance sated. With my
The health
dead,
of the land of Nosgoth is excruciatingly tied to the 9 ephesus known as the Pillars of Nosgoth. The pillars, by the sorceress known as the Circle of 9, each of whom serve the guardians of each individual pillar. When the guardians dies, a new one is formed, called to take their place, pretty much. In the prologue, Blood Omen, Ariel, the Guardian of Balance, is killed, like I had mentioned before. And resulting in the chain of events leads to a spiritual corruption of the pillars and their guardians. So each guardian of the Pillars of 9 were balanced by the pillar balance. She dies, Ariel. She dies. And you know what? What's the best way to do it? Let's see if I can get there. I don't think Kain's gonna, in this series, he's gonna get there yet for you guys.
'Tis not over, Kain. These fools were merely the instruments of your murder, not the cause. Look to their masters, look to the pillars, and gain way to the fortress of the mind.
See, Mortanius is pretty much using you, and you don't know that at the beginning. You just think he's your savior. He's definitely using you in this particular moment. So it's kind of funny.
This was where the bloody deed of my murder took place.
As you go through the game, you'll get new powers, like I said previously, which will make Kain even stronger. He'll be able to walk through water and all sorts of stuff. My goal is for you guys is I want to be able to get you guys to the pillars. I'm not going to cross that again.
The necromancer had offered me no warning as to what my resurrection would entail, and yet I must confess in my haste I had not sought one. Was his gift a curse? I would seek them.
Nopraptor, your madness has shattered our dreams and blinded you.
Keep your distance, or I'll send you back to hell, spirit!
There is nothing left of me to fear, vampire. I'm only a shadow of my former self, Ariel, the balance of the Circle of 9. Even so, I can provide the answers you seek.
I seek only a cure.
There is no cure for death, only release. You must destroy the sorcery that is now poisoning Nosgoth. Only then will you realize peace. The 9 of the Protectors of Hope were sworn to use their powers to preserve our world. Now these pillars have been corrupted by a traitor. My murder at the hands of this beast drove my love Nopraptor mad. Now he spreads misery and pain among the Circle, crumbling the very foundation of Nosgoth. You must restore balance. You must right the pillars of Nosgoth.
I care not for the fate of this world.
Then for yourself, Kain. Beware the unspoken.
Nopraptor, with his blind act of vengeance, threatened to destroy all of Nosgoth. Each Circle member was bonded to the pillar he served. The pillars reflected the mental state of their servants, and as the minds of the Circle degenerated and descended farther into dementia, the pillars crumbled. To restore them, each member of the Circle had to die, and the artifact that served as their link to the pillar had to be returned. Only when all the pillars were restored did Ariel claim my curse would end. And so, my hunt for Nupraptor began.
Alright, so what Ariel didn't tell him is you are the pillar of balance, which took over for her. And in order for your curse to end, is you would have to die as everybody else. Or survive. And the pillars will continue to corrupt. So yeah, you as a player will have that choice towards the end of the game. And that was pretty cool. And that just derives from the new Legacy of Kain series with Raziel. So it really does, the game really blows up on its own, guys. This is why this game is one of my personal favorites and one of the awesome gems that I have. And I hope that it becomes a favorite for you guys as well. Unfortunately, the people who made this game, the company winds up leaving or winds up going under. And it was born by Activision, which is on today. And they're owned by Blizzard at this point. They were by Square, and then it became by Blizzard. Believe it or not, Legacy of Kain was supposed to get another game. Another undeveloped game. And it never came out. It was another Legacy of Kain series. And I saw a demo a while ago for it. I think it's called about Sun Rising or something like that. And when the company went under, they never finished the game. But if you do want to play Legacy of Kain series, you can definitely get this one on eBay for about 20 bucks, as I mentioned before. You can always get the Soul Reaver series as well. They're a really good series. Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2 does have another series. It's for the PlayStation 2. That did came out. And of course, Nosgoth, which is the Square Enix community, which has a multiplayer aspect to it. It's set in the same experience. And you can either be a hunter, or you be a hunter for the first time, or you could be the vampire in the next. And that game is pretty much free for all. Anyone can play it. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my brief synopsis and my short video of my personal favorite gem. If you did like this video, give me some thumbs up and leave some comments down below. Would you like me to continue this series? Would you like me to go forth and do a let's play on Legacy of Kain? Leave me your own comments. Tell me your own stories. Have you played this game before? If so, what do you think about this game? What did you like or did not like about the game? Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by the Gamer's Vault, and I will see you next time. Take care.